All right, we're finally back again on Eddie and Everything show. It's been kind of sporadic, and we're doing a different day at a different time, but we are back on. And have my friend Kelly here, and pretty much just going to let her take over a little bit from here because I had nothing. So.
Well, you're in luck, folks, because today we decided, well, we're going to see where the conversation takes us, but I'm just feeling like Sasquatch needs to be talked about. And I know that there's probably like a lot of Sasquatch lovers out there, people who've had experiences with Sasquatch. I know I personally have, which I'm going to share with you.
You have.
I have.
Well,
Yeah.
all right.
And I don't know, I just felt it in the air today that we should have a conversation about it, about, I don't know, what I've seen, what I know, and then see what other people have to say, what their experiences are, and what they think about it, what they feel about it. And I think it's just, I don't know, Sasquatch always shows up in my life for some reason, somehow. So I think it's like one of
Really?
my, it's like one of my animal totems,
Ah,
my spirit animals.
yeah.
So what do you think about Sasquatch, Ed? Tell me what are your thoughts?
I've always like I've always watched stuff on it and paid attention to it and stuff. The only problem I have is one, they don't have a lot of new stuff like footage and stuff.
Yeah.
And for the love of God, could somebody hold a goddamn camera still once in a while? It's always like they're having an epileptic fit when they're filming. It's
Oh
like,
my
oh,
God, I
come
see it.
on.
What was that?
I mean, I guess maybe you're panicking or something, but
On the high drama shows. I know they never really show. I think I've only seen that one clip, that one famous clip, and I forget what it's called.
the Hyde, is it Hyde Peterson? What, the one in California?
Yeah, which was a really good clip, but
Yeah.
that was like
And that guy
on
was
the
on
VHS.
horseback filming it.
Yeah,
Other people are standing still on the ground.
yeah. I don't think I've seen any other
Floyd Peterson, maybe.
footage of like legit footage, but I haven't been hot on all the shows. I know there's a lot of shows out there.
There
And
is.
I was just telling you that I met Ronnie LeBlanc. I said, yeah, it's Ronnie LeBlanc. He's on Expedition Bigfoot.
Yeah.
Really great guy. He does like aliens. He does wormholes. He does all kinds of really cool talks on all kinds of things. And I love that stuff. I don't know about you, but I love that stuff.
And I think to be interested in that kind of thing in the first place, you're also going to be interested in
All the other,
other different kind of paranormal, whatever you'd call it, kind of things.
yeah, paranormal, it just all the things. I've loved that stuff since I was a kid. And like growing
Yeah.
up here, there were always, oh my God, always weird stuff happening. Like up over the mountain over here, we used to see like UFOs all the time. There were people.
I'd seen a few in New Hampshire too.
Yeah, yeah. Over here, it's a hot spot for whatever reason. I don't know. And over, of course, over by like the Connor Pond where the ring dike is, that's like a really hot spot too. But
We got to go up there sometime.
I know.
I'd love to see that.
I know there's so many cool things. But that's actually where I had my Sasquatch experience. So I
Down by
just,
the lake down there?
but up on the
Or up on
way
the mountain?
up in the mountain.
Oh.
Yeah. So I had like never had a real Sasquatch experience until I was like in my mid 30s maybe. And I don't know, I'd always just been drawn to Sasquatch, Yeti, the whole mystical, magical, all of it. Like ancient aliens. I love all that stuff.
Yeah.
And so I was taking a walk up way up in the mountain, almost where it dead ends up there. And it was springtime. And so there were no leaves on the trees. It's like super quiet that time of year. Like it's spring, the snow is melted, but there's no leaves. It's just like really quiet and still. So I parked on the side of the road. And this is like, for y'all that don't know, it's like up in the middle of nowhere. It's a dead end road. It goes up to a mountain. There's a house up there, and then it just turns into woods and like old roads and stuff. So I parked on the side of the road and I just like walked out into the woods a little ways just to sit up against a tree because that's just, I don't know, it's what I do sometimes. I need to connect.
Well,
And I
quiet
sat,
place to be.
yeah, it was funny because all the trees looked kind of silvery for some reason. This is the kind of tree it was, I guess. So I'm sitting there, I back up against the tree, and I close my eyes because the sun was like so warm. I don't know, it may have been like April or something. The sun was so warm, I just closed my eyes and was relaxing for a second. And then my eyes popped open, and I'm like looking around, without moving because I just felt like I was being watched. And I'm like trying not to move because you know, like when you're scared, you like don't want to move.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm scared of, but I could just feel like something was watching me. So I'm looking around real slow, and I knew at it, I had not thought about Sasquatch at all, but I just knew that that's what it was. I knew for some reason, like it's like here, it's like looking at me, watching me, and I didn't feel like threatened, like wasn't like a tiger was gonna come like eat me and attack me. I was just like so startled. So I got up real slow and like just started walking back to my car again without acting scared. You know, like when you're like trying to run up the basement steps without something getting you, like don't act scared. So like went to walk back to my car. And I got back in my car and I like drove all the way down the mountain. I was like, oh my God. And I was telling my boyfriend at the time about it. And he's totally into all this stuff as well. And you kind of have to be if you live around here. I don't know. I think it just comes with the territory because there's so much of that just magic here. Like there's crystals up in that mountain. There's a lot of Native American stuff. Like there's a lot of magic up in that mountain
Yeah.
in this whole area.
I know there's a lot of like, uh, Jesus, Native American, like
Yeah.
it's stuff like that.
Yeah.
But
Native American
I
stuff.
never heard much about any other stuff though, really.
Yeah. You know what? And up in that same area, there was a, up by Connor Pond, there was back in the, I think it was in the 30s or 50s, there was a newspaper article that someone had, it was a Sasquatch sighting up in that. And I think it was actually in like the Independent, the Carroll County Independent.
Hmm.
And I saw a picture of it online. I like looked for it and Googled it. I'm like, this article has to exist because I told my boyfriend and he's like, oh yeah, so and so told me that there was like a newspaper article about it because you know, it's not the first time it's happened up there. So I went on to search and I did find it. Same thing as up in the Connor Pond area. Someone had seen um, Sasquatch up there. Had I don't remember exactly what the newspaper article said, but I'm like, oh, so this is like a spot where they are. And then I talked to another person. Oh my gosh, who was it? I forget who it was. Another person in the same in on Connor Pond. It was in the winter. A lady's dog fell through the ice, and she said all of a sudden this like huge creature went out and like got the dog out and then was just gone, like just vanished. And
Well,
that's all in that area. But it gets weirder.
it's something you don't hear a lot. It's like Bigfoot
No,
rescuing a.
I know. And you know what? The more people that I talk to in that during that time in that small little town are they were like, oh yeah, like because there's a ton of hunters up there. Like it's a very outdoorsy kind of place. You
Yeah,
know, the
yeah,
people that have lived there forever. They know every inch of those mountains, every inch of those woods because they just grew up there, you know,
yeah,
walking around, hunting, whatever.
yeah,
And they had all kinds of stories. And it was just part of, it was just like part of the culture and everyone had their experience. And I was like, oh my gosh. And people that you wouldn't even think would believe in Bigfoot, you know, like big hunters or whatever. They're like, oh yeah, we saw blah, blah, blah. And then, or I saw this, or my uncle saw that, or said this. Like it's a really big thing. And I had no idea. I thought it was just me, you know, like the weirdo over here.
yeah.
but, but
Well,
it gets,
I told you about that kind of stupid Bigfoot show that they had.
yeah,
I think it was Finding Bigfoot. I'm not sure. The one with Bobo on
yeah,
it. But they would have a town hall thing where they had people to come in and talk about their experiences or whatever,
yeah,
and it was kind of the same thing that people you wouldn't even think would even mention Bigfoot or something like that. But oh no, I saw this or saw that.
yeah,
So
yeah.
that yeah, people in the local area have to have a lot more stories than.
Yeah, yeah. I think that they are. I mean, my experience has been so I'm for people who don't know me, like I'm an intuitive. I see, I hear, I sense. I that's just how I do my business with people's help or with anything. That's just my little gift. And what I know intuitively about Bigfoot is that, and this is funny because these are things. So this all happened back in. Let's just preface this. This was like 2000 and maybe 17. So it was a little while. It was like 8 or 9 years ago, anyways.
Yeah.
It was a while ago. So there were things that I just like knew about Bigfoot. For whatever reason, I just knew it. And I know Bigfoot has been known to like communicate telepathically. That's how they communicate. And I know that they can just show up out of nowhere. And Ronnie LeBlanc talks a lot about that in a lot of his research and the research that he's done with like different Native American tribes and stuff who have a little even closer communication with Sasquatch, Yeti, Bigfoot, or whatever else they call it. So there were these things that I just knew. For instance, so this is the experience that I had because it gets weirder. So that night after that happened, I went to bed and I was sleeping and I was having a dream. And you know those dreams that you wake up and like you're dreaming, but you're like dreaming and you're in your own room and everything looks the same.
Yeah.
So I woke up in my room and Sasquatch comes around the corner and gives me a gift. And it was like a little, I don't know, it was like a little trinket or something. I couldn't even describe what it was. It was just this little gift. And he handed it to me. And I knew because they don't, again, they just communicate telepathically. I knew that whatever it was giving me, I say he, could be she, I don't know, it was giving me was a gift that was going to help me to open up my own gifts. Whatever like my superpowers were, my innate gifts, whatever it was going to open all that up. And I just knew that when I got the gift. And I felt like how loving Bigfoot is, like how caring, how loving, how they're almost like a spirit animal, kind of, but much grander. I don't know exactly where they come from. What where they come from, I don't know. I don't know if anybody knows that. But they're extremely
I'm
loving,
sure they don't.
extremely caring, just very intelligent. I don't know exactly what their purpose is here, and those were things that I knew.
So, but what about like some of those things where you hear like, I think a lot of in like Washington State and stuff, especially around logging areas. Now,
Hmm.
I mean, just to answer my own question, but where they say they've actually sort of attacked people and torn stuff up, and you know,
I don't
but
know.
maybe
Maybe.
it's because they're tearing up their territory, I
I
guess.
guess maybe if they felt attacked, they would attack. But I know,
Well, like, if somebody came into your house and started ripping it apart, I suppose you'd
yeah,
probably attack them too.
yeah, I would probably pop a cap or something
Well, yeah.
in the situation.
Yeah, because we can't really lift up a tree and slam them, slam somebody or anything. So yeah, that's the alternative, I guess.
Yeah. So I was watching the show once, and I don't remember what it was because a while ago. But it was they were looking at these carvings that were on a rock, and they were with a Native American tribe of that particular region, and they had these big, etchings in the stone. I forget what they're called. Um, and the Native American person was kind of like translating what the story was that was being told on the rock with the pictures.
Mhm.
And they were saying, yes, this is the Bigfoot. They didn't call it Bigfoot. They had another much better name for it, Native
Yeah.
American name for it. And he had tears coming down his face. And one of the and they're like, no, these are tears. And they're tears because the story shows that the Bigfoot is sad that everyone runs away, and it's sad that they think that they're bad or that they're evil or that they're here to, not evil, but like aggressive, or that they're here to hurt or to harm when they're not. They're here to be friendly. And there was when I went to see so I went to see Ronnie LeBlanc. So I'm going to bring the story around. So I went to see Ronnie LeBlanc
Mhm.
at a talk that he was doing, and he was going through all of these things about Bigfoot that um, they come in and out of dimensions, and that's why we can see them, and that's why they can like show up, and that's why we've never found like a Bigfoot house or dwelling or something. He said that they give gifts, and I was like, oh my god, I've got to tell him the story about that Sasquatch gave me a gift. With their experience, they were getting physical gifts because they were in the woods. They would get little bundles of flowers or little things.
I've heard stuff like that, and
Yeah,
the only thing that's where it loses me is with that whole,
the
interdimensional thing.
interdimensional part.
Only because, like, I just I never heard any of that kind of stuff till probably a couple of years ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I was like, I
Yeah.
don't know. But I mean, and you said that the Native Americans talked about that stuff too. A lot of people think that this is a thing that just started happening in like the like 70s, 60s and 70s and stuff like that. Well, yeah, well, yeah, to be able to film some of this stuff,
But
yeah.
I mean, before that, it was like, hey, let's scribe this into the rock.
Yeah,
That was the first best thing we had. We're gonna, record this somehow. So it
yeah,
was in, when it wasn't just through story, it was then we're gonna carve into this rock.
yeah.
And there are so many of those stories all around the world. Because
Yeah,
there
and
have
almost every single continent.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Every single continent has some form of this um, beautiful creature.
yeah, this, well, someone can call it wild man, someone can call it
Yeah.
this, I forget what they call it. It's some weird name in Australia, which is very strange because Australia is not a desert, but I mean,
Some of it's a
you
desert.
you would think it'd be hard for something like that
I know.
to kind of hide, but
I know they did when I was at that seminar with Ronnie Blank. They showed on a map all the sightings, the recorded, like the called in recorded sightings that they
yeah,
had, and you could see where the hot spots are. And there's actually in southern New England, it's a huge hot spot. Like there were tons of sightings. It's
really,
like, oh my gosh, yeah. And
huh.
it seemed to be, I think it was like around Rhode Island, like that southern New England,
Rhode Island.
which is so weird, right? It's
That's
like,
really weird.
where is there Sasquatch hanging out in Rhode Island?
In the smallest state in the country,
I know,
and it's not like there's like mountains and stuff there.
I know. But
I don't even know if there's a lot of woods there, is there? I guess there must be.
I've not seen a ton of Rhode Island. I've seen like the Newport area,
Yeah,
Providence,
I've
but
only been to around Providence and stuff like that. So
yeah,
yeah, I don't.
I thought it was like a swamp. I think that is a swamp, actually.
Well, I guess if it is, maybe that too. Yeah, that's another thing. What the hell? I think it's in Louisiana or something. They call it the swamp ape.
Swamp ape.
Yeah.
Yep, yep. I was down in Texas a couple months ago, and I was like, you know what? I wonder if there's any Bigfoot like sightings around here. I was just looking for some place to drive out of the city, out of Dallas, to go like out to the
I think there
country.
is,
Oh yeah, there were a
which
ton.
again doesn't make a lot of sense
Yeah,
because I mean I've never been to Texas,
yeah.
but I
So
don't think it's not a lot of woods and stuff out there, is
well,
there?
once you get out like to East Texas, there's more.
Is
It
there?
gets more woodsy where there's like river. It seemed there was like this big river bend, Big Bend
Actually, that
sort of
makes
thing.
sense because you're getting close to like Arkansas.
Arkansas.
So yeah,
Yep, and there's lots of woods
there's a
up there.
lot of those in Arkansas too. So I
Mm-hmm.
lived in Arkansas for like 3 months, and I
Yeah,
always wanted to go. I forget the name of the one mountain range that's there.
the Ozarks.
The Ozarks, yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
I used to drive like on my way to work into Little Rock. You could see it. You could see the big giant mountain.
yeah, yeah.
I
I've
was
been
like,
through Little
man,
Rock.
I'd kind of like to go over there and
I know. Dig
just
around
see what
and
happens.
see what's in there.
Never did, but
I know it's so cool. But yeah, so when I was at the seminar, he was just verifying everything that I knew to be true from my own experience with
yeah,
the interdimensional, when they're here, then they're not, when they're leaving gifts, when they're communicating telepathically. Like, yes, that was exactly my experience. That's so cool. But it was just really good. And I'm hoping to have another experience because I don't know, I can just feel it in the air. It's like I can feel when it's close for some reason. I don't know why.
now
Maybe there's a message that's supposed to come
have
through.
you like seen anything or just a feeling you
Just the
kind of get?
feeling of it,
Yeah.
just the sensation. But I've not had a sensation that clear since that day. I mean, but I also didn't have any distractions. I had a lot less stress back then as well. So my field was a little clearer of what I could sense, but that was extremely strong. And I wonder what would have happened if I had like stayed there just to sit. I think it would have come up to me. I think it would have showed itself to me somehow without scaring to. I think it knew it was supposed to give me something. Like it knew I was coming. And because I left the woods, at least it came to me in my dream. and like gave me what I was supposed to have, which I
Yeah.
thought was very kind.
Maybe, I mean, if you're going on like the spiritual side and all that kind of stuff he's talking
Hmm.
about with them, more the interdimensional, all that kind of stuff. Maybe it's got something to do with like they know that they can tell that certain people are open to certain things or whatever, like a
I think
more of an
so.
open mind and that kind of thing.
I think so. I think that's very true. I just got goosebumps a little bit. So that usually is like right on the energy. I think that they do. I think that they have, I think that when, I think that they exist in certain areas. And I think that they can link up with a particular person who is open. And I think that they can give them information, whether it's like a code. Um, whenever we like download something into our being, it's called like downloading a code into your body where you just all of a sudden have this knowingness of like, oh, this is the way this goes. It's a knowingness that gets downloaded. And I think that certain people here are here to do certain types of work at the same frequency. Okay, I'm on the energy now. I can feel it. I have goosebumps. Certain people are here to do the work that are on the same frequency of whatever Sasquatch exists on. Wow, what is that? That's interesting. That goes up my spine. And so they'll find the connection with the people to reawaken that information inside of them. I'm just trying to download what this information is. This is really interesting. So
It almost seems like you're reading it.
I am. That's like when it tunes into my body, I get goosebumps, like lights up my whole body.
Is there one outside
So
here somewhere?
I'm looking off into space here. That's why I can get the information. But yeah, they're here to do the same work that Sasquatch. I'm like, what is Sasquatch? What do they do? That's what I'm tapping into right now. It's almost like it's almost like they're calming two planes of existence. And I wouldn't call it peacekeeping because that's a weird human word. It's more like they stabilize a particular frequency. I'll get the rest of it later, but it's like, yeah, they're stabilizing a particular frequency between two different planes of existence. And so their information is coming through, and they can go back and forth between the two planes. This is just what I'm getting intuitively. They can go back and forth between the two planes. That's like that interdimensional thing. Like dogs. Dogs can do the same thing. They can
Dogs can do the same thing.
That's like when like a dog passes, you'll like sometimes see it out of the corner of your eye. And there's so many pet owners who have experienced this, where like their dog, cat, animal dies. It's more like dogs and cats. They'll pass over, but you'll see them out of the corner of your eye. I had that happen with my dog that passed. I would
Really?
see her all the time out of the corner of my eye, but they can come through really easily. Not that they're coming from the same space that Sasquatch is coming, because they're coming from like a passed over place, but this is the same type of, they can just go between the frequencies. Because that's all that's happening. They're just going between frequencies.
Maybe that explains why dogs, especially dogs, like how they say like if somebody has like a ghost experience or something like that,
Mm-hmm.
that the dog actually won't go over and start barking and there's nothing there or
Yeah.
something like that.
They're so tuned into that. They can
Yeah.
see that frequency. Because it's just a frequency, and they can see it. They can see all those things that we can't see, like babies. Babies can see all those things too.
Yeah. Well, I think, well, maybe it's the same way with the animals too, actually, because pretty much what they say about like babies being able to pick up stuff like that, because
Mm-hmm.
they have their mind is not clouded with anything at all.
Right.
They're just a sponge learning and seeing and taking everything in.
Yep. Their eyes are wide open.
They're not, they're not,
Yeah, their brain's not shut down yet.
yeah,
Yeah.
they haven't been smacked around with reality so much that they get a little bit jaded, so they kind of know.
Yeah, no one's telling them that, no, you don't see that, or no, you, whatever. No one's challenging what you're seeing or saying.
Yeah.
So your brain's like, no, I am actually seeing that.
Yeah.
Actually.
Yeah.
Which is a really interesting phenomenon.
Yeah. You basically, you don't know any better to
Yeah.
not be seeing what you're seeing.
Right.
Because your mind is not clouded with all this other garbage and stuff. So.
Yeah. What's funny too is that some people can remember what they saw when they were like little kids. I have a friend that can remember being in her crib and like seeing all, she can tell me what the wallpaper looked like on the room that she was in, and she can tell me everything that she saw, which I think is really fascinating. I do. I don't really remember a ton. I remember some things, but not a ton. I could probably tap into it though if I wanted to. Maybe we just blank it out. You're like, nope, that challenges my reality that I'm
I,
operating right now, so I'm just not gonna.
when I was a little kid, I had it was really weird. I would see these things in this ceiling
Mm-hmm.
that could actually talk. Some they call them the bubbles.
Yeah.
They could actually talk and stuff like that. And one
Yeah.
time they like, and Mike was doing something stupid. He was always doing something stupid, and they kind of went after him. I was like, no, no. The weird thing is, I thought I was just losing my mind, like, or I would, as I get older, I thought I was just
Yeah.
a kid and imagining things. Or
Yeah.
my niece had exactly the same thing,
Really.
exactly the same experience, exactly the way I described it. And my sister was like, I thought I was like dreaming that you actually had this. I was like, no, no, it was absolutely true.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, my friend who remembers the wallpaper, she remembers the wallpaper like coming alive and talking to her and
Same
like
kind of thing, really.
pulsing and throbbing, and
Yeah,
it's so weird, so strange. Mine that I remember the earliest was I would always this really I don't know. This my house was haunted growing up. We'll just say my house was haunted growing up. And I had some really weird
where you go, yeah,
experiences that
same
followed
thing
me
here.
like into my adulthood. And finally it stopped when I was, could face it and be bigger than what it was. But yeah, it's really interesting what you see.
We had a lot of because my uncle died in our house,
Yeah.
and we did have some strange stuff happen. One of the things used to happen all the time. The only time it would happen was with me. I had hooked my stereo up to the TV downstairs in the living room,
Yeah.
and I'll be all by myself. That TV's not on, that's not on, nothing. All of a sudden, the stereo would turn on full blast.
Oh man.
Just out, it's scary. The living
You're like, oh hell no. Oh hell
and then I
no.
go over and shut it off and go, "Oh, oh." And it finally that was going on for like 2 years. Nobody believed me. Nobody believed me at all.
Oh,
And then finally, my parents were actually there, and the friggin' thing turned on by itself
thank God.
with nothing else on.
Yeah.
It turned on all by itself, full blast. And like, the first thing my mother said was, "Uncle Leo," because it was her uncle that
The path.
that passed him on.
Oh my gosh. I don't like that stuff. Like if I can't see you, leave me alone.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of it really myself.
Not are you gonna mess with
And
me.
there'd be other things, like the typical, well, this, I didn't put this here and this,
Yeah, yeah,
but it was nothing crazy.
yeah.
Yeah,
I would literally get attacked at nighttime. And it was the
that's not good.
same, no, oh my God, talk about night. I think I still have trauma over that actually. But I still don't like being alone at nighttime. It's the weirdest thing.
Actually, well, I really don't blame you, but
Yeah,
uh, I think I told you about that one time when I was like in that like semi-conscious state. It was like I was trying to fight something off. This was a
I
while
think
ago.
you did tell me that. I think we might have talked about this, but yes. So probably similar to you, I was ever since I was a little kid, this dream, I would wake up in my room, completely paralyzed, couldn't move, like frozen.
And that's a bad feeling.
That's a bad feeling. I would always go to like reach for the light. And when the light wouldn't turn on, I'd be like, oh, fuck. Because I knew that that thing was coming to get me every single time. And I knew that I was dreaming because it happened so much. Wake up in my room, turn the light on, and then it would just like I would freeze and it would pick me up and twist me around and just I don't
It physically picked you
like
up.
physically pick me up and I'd be frozen like this. And it just was like dark and it had I don't remember if it ever said anything, but I just recall it being like this really low, like scary, non-physical voice. And then I think I would somehow like kick myself awake, or sometimes I remember being like dropped back into my bed and I would wake up. And I slept with the light on for like years, and with a nightlight for years. And my dog would be in my room always. And because it would just constantly happen. And until I was in my 30s. And
Wow.
finally, what happened when it started to shift, because it would still, I'd wake up in whatever room that I was in my dream, go to turn the fucking light on, and sure as shit. And then one day I got so mad in my dream. I went to turn the light on and I got up out of my bed in my dream and I'm like blasting energy at my hand, out of my hands at whatever this thing was. And it was just like, it just felt evil. Like I could feel it come at me with this like, and I could feel like disease come into my body. It was the weirdest, grossest feeling I'd ever felt. The time I tried to like blast energy out of my hands, like I could feel what it was made out of. And it was just like what I would say evilest evil I've ever felt in my life. And then I woke up, and then I don't remember how long ago. It maybe been a couple of years later. It happened one last time, and I like somehow overcame it. Like I somehow overcame the thing, and it hasn't come back since.
It's kind of a blessing.
Holy shit! And the funny thing is, Ronnie LeBlanc said the same thing. He used to have night terrors. He used to get attacked growing up. I'm like,
Really?
sure as shit. I think that there's a certain frequency that you're tuned into with the people that have like all of these Sasquatch experiences.
Hmm.
That's what I think. It's my theory.
Huh.
Isn't that crazy? Yeah.
I don't know about crazy.
A blessing and a curse. I'm gonna use these superpowers for good.
Well,
Instead of feeling all the shit of the world, let's tune into all the good things. Which there is, like Sasquatch. So that was my experience. Pretty wild, huh?
Yeah.
So what was your experience in your room? I think you told me about that.
It was a while ago. That was like, God, that was like 4 years ago.
What was here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember it right. I probably won't though. But it was just like, I saw like this, it was like a shadow. And kept like reaching out from under the bed. And I was in like the half awake, half asleep mode.
Yeah. Why do things live under the bed?
I don't know.
Why?
I don't know. I don't know.
What the fuck?
We knew when we were kids.
I know, you know. Like, you know that's where shit's high now.
But then it came out and it started coming at me. And when I woke up, but I remember the whole thing vividly.
Yeah.
But when I actually finally came to, I was literally like kicking and yelling,
Yeah.
swinging, all that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it was at that point, obviously, there was nothing there.
Yeah.
I mean, it could have been just a vivid, nightmare, possibly.
Maybe.
But I get night terrors too and stuff. Mike has told me before. Sometimes it even like knock on the door and say, "What the hell is going on?"
That's something to look into, for sure. For sure. Carrie, my theory with maybe that's not a good theory. I was gonna say I think that things can get in more when our biofield is weaker, but I don't know if that theory is gonna play through all of these situations. So I have to think about that theory again. But I think that people who are like tuned into energy are more apt to like have these experiences. But I think that you can use that understanding of yourself to like really be tuned into the good things. Because I think when you're a kid and when you're open to energy like that, or you're just naturally tuned into it, one, yes, you're an empath. Yes, you feel other people's things. Yes, you can feel the energy of a room before you walk into it. Yes, you have like a better gut feeling about things, but like what, I just feel like I gotta call that person, or I'm like, I don't want to go here. Like you just have a gut. I think it's not that you have a better gut feeling, but I think you're more connected to your gut feeling. And I think that just depends. I think that's part of our DNA, the way that we're wired, where we have that stronger connection.
Some people can do it, some people can't.
Because some people are so.
But probably most people can. Or probably anybody can.
Anybody can.
But only certain people
are dialed into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I mean, I know a couple of people who are not tuned into it, and they seem to live very happy lives
Yeah,
because they're oblivious to
yeah,
everything.
yeah.
They're just
Uh,
like, well,
it
ignorance
it
is bliss sometimes.
it does make things harder, that's for sure.
It does.
Or not. I don't want to say harder, but and I don't even want to say more stressful. It's sort of because
It,
you take on everybody else's
yeah. So I think
kind of thing.
you've gotta be really good at taming that and having your biofields strong so stuff doesn't like get in so easily or we're not so hypersensitive to it. Because I went through a period of my life where I was so stressed out in the past like 2 years, so stressed out that it felt like everything. I was so sensitive to everything because my whole biofield was felt weak. So like everything I was around was overwhelming. The energy of it was overwhelming.
And
So,
it's almost like you take on other people's stress
oh yeah,
on that,
yeah,
but
yeah, take it right into your body. I got it. It's fine, guys. You're not capable of carrying it. But I think that comes with, I think it's one of the way that we're wired. And I also think it's how we grew up. So you got used to just kind of being almost like being, no, I'm going to say the peace. Sometimes it's a peacekeeper, but like mitigating all the energies of your entire household. Like do this, but don't do that. Like, and then we become more tend to become, we can have a tendency to become more like people pleasers because we're so used to managing the energy and like don't want the boat to rock. And so I think that as we become more aware of those tendencies and we use the gifts of feeling that we have that are so intense to us, we use those gifts instead of feeling and taking on other people's garbage like we did when we were kids to help them or save them, whatever the frig we're trying to do. We use that energy to instead speak truth because what it does is that repels. I'm just downloading this right now. It repels the other energy, and truth is such a strong frequency that it just busts through anyone else's bullshit. So when someone else is in there, oh woe is me, or they're flipping out, or they're overreacting, having like no emotional intelligence whatsoever, instead of someone who is hypersensitive or an empath thinking, oh my god, I've got to fix this. This is my fault. I've got to fix it.
that's
I've got to take it
exactly,
in.
yes, that's exactly.
Instead of rushing in as the fixer, as the savior, we can speak truth. And what it does is it repels it. So an example of that would be, so say someone comes to you like, oh my God, I hurt my back again. I'm not going to be able to like do the thing. And you might be like, oh, okay, let me just do this to you, do this for you begrudgingly. Then you take on, let me go shovel your car off. Let me go take care of this for you. And it just feels like weight to your system. It feels like, ugh, I don't want to do this. Now I've got all this other stuff on my plate. Now I'm like catering to them and taking care of them. And like, I just want to live my own life. Finally, for once in my life, just let me live my own life. Instead of doing that, when we speak truth, it's, hey, that's too bad, but I'm sorry what happened to you, but maybe there's someone that you could call that could help you, or what are you going to do about this, do you think? So it's like putting the power back in their hands.
But you know how hard that is to do, though?
I
Or
do
you
know
probably do
how,
know how
I
hard it
know
is to do
exactly
it
how hard it is
because you're standing right there.
yeah,
And then,
yeah,
no,
it is hard. But the cool thing is that when we do that and we, it's hard because you're like, all right, now they're going to react to me, them feeling rejected because I said didn't say I wasn't going to help them, but I'm inferring that maybe you can figure this out. And now they're going to go cry and get mad. And then I'm going to have to go fix that. So I might as well
just do it.
just do it. Yeah, so that's not helpful for them because it takes them out. It just allows them to continue their pattern of helplessness and never allows them to grow. And that's the hard part. But
You know what is one good part, though? Is you have an incredibly heightened bullshit detector.
oh yeah, oh yeah,
I can tell almost immediately as soon as somebody starts talking if they're lying or if they're not.
yeah,
Like,
you do. And that's that truth frequency I'm talking about. it's more, and I think that's the gift that the people who are really sensitive are given, is that you're super sensitive, yes, but that truth frequency in you that you can speak, when we can really actually speak it without you worrying about emotionally consoling everyone who can't handle truth, is so powerful, because it dimensionally shatters everyone's bullshit. And so then they're knocked out of their bullshit, out of their helplessness, out of their excuses, out of all that, and then they end up stepping into their power without you having to lift a finger.
That kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
It does make sense.
And it's powerful. And the only thing that we have to overcome, and I say this to myself too, because I still have those places where there's still a couple people that I still can't like be totally, I don't want to say harsh, but truthful with, because of this like long-term pattern of emotional responsibility for them, which is not helpful for them, because everyone's got to manage their own emotions. But once we get through that fear of disappointing, or just fear of having to take on someone else's stuff or fix them when they go off the deep end because you said no to them, once we get over that fear, it takes the weight off of us, and then we can really step into our power and do what we're meant to do, which is share truth about things, and that's powerful. But it's like being in that crux of growth where that bullshit meter comes on and you say something about it, like, I think you can actually do this yourself. I totally believe in you that you can do this yourself. No, there's a good way to communicate it.
Yeah, and see,
and there will be guilt afterwards, but it's all part of moving through the piece.
My problem is, I think I should probably rework my wording a little bit sometimes. So I phrase it a little differently than that.
It can come out as straight frustration and harshness. I get it. I totally get it. Like, that did not go the way I thought it was going to go. Clean up on aisle 6, please. Yeah.
But no, I do. I definitely get what you're saying.
Yeah. That's our power, is our truth so that we don't have to carry everyone's stuff, and yet that's what we learn.
I mean, I almost can't fathom, like a lot of people I tell that to think I'm fucking guy's out of his mind.
Mm-hmm.
But the amount I don't want to say drains you, but
no, it drains you. It straight drains you.
It's like when you can walk into just about any room,
mm-hmm.
especially if there's some sort of conflict or something going on,
mm-hmm.
automatically you know there's something weird happening,
mm-hmm.
and you can almost figure out who is kind of causing it, and then you immediately, first reaction is, I could fix this.
Yeah.
And
it's like, I can fix anything, actually. It is too. And I started saying that the thing that happened to me, and it began to really, really fuck with me, because if I'm not even in front of the person, but I'm thinking of or worried about a problem that they're having, because I somehow feel responsible for them. Why ever we feel responsible for adults, I don't know, but sometimes we do, right? I can still feel their energy. I can still feel their stuff, and I will catch myself like ruminating and thinking and feeling what they're feeling and thinking, how am I going to fix it for them? Undercurrent, while I'm sitting there trying to do my own work and wondering, like, God, why don't I have clarity? Like, I should know what to do with this, whatever I'm working on. Like, I should know the next step for myself, and what the fuck is my problem? And recently this has like really come up, and I've seen now it's because I'm plugged into these couple people that I don't know what to do with their stuff. I don't know how to have the conversation with them to put them on their own path and not be energetically carrying them anymore. But it clouds your awareness. It clouds like the things that you should be doing for yourself. You can't even think of, because their energy is just all up in your grill. But it's because
it almost gets like, I don't want to say obsession.
Yeah.
But in a way, a little bit, it does.
It is. It's like, I can fix it.
And until the situation's resided,
mm-hmm.
It's like,
yeah,
it just stays,
Yeah, it's like their problem is your problem.
Yeah,
It's full on your problem, and you've taken it on as your problem for no reason at all.
yeah.
But there's no there's no reason to do that, and that's exactly what I'm trying to stop doing too. And it's so funny because I was even, and I say this because maybe someone else is catching themselves with it, but I was working with a company. So I see clients one to one. So I work with people. So when someone pays me, yes, I can help them work on their problem, right? That's a fair exchange of energy. But I caught myself, I was working for this other company and I would leave feeling so drained and so stressed out and so tight. And then I would get home and it would take me almost like 3 or 4 days just to recover when I worked for the travel company. And I was like, why is this so stressful? And what I realized is if the sales team wasn't doing well, I made it my job. I was not a sales manager. I did not own the company. I had no lead role. I was just a sales rep along with the other people. Everyone had been there longer than me. I was like the newest person, but still, I made it my job to make sure that sales team like met the goal for the day or whatever it was. And I was like pushing everyone else's energy and siphoning my energy into other people instead of me just showing up doing my job for myself to make money for myself. I was like dumping it into everyone else and for the company. And I finally realized I was doing that. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing, girlfriend? Like, girls gotta eat, you gotta make money. This is not your job.
Yeah.
But I think, I also think that people who have that sensitivity are also meant to be leaders because they naturally have those leadership qualities and it's because they do speak truth, because when they speak people listen. They have an inner sense of knowing and an inner sense of direction that other people can feel, whether you know it or not. It's there, and other people can actually feel it, that they should come to you, that they like probably people tell you all their problems, and probably people come to you and tell you their entire life story, and they're like, oh, I never tell anyone all this stuff. I don't know why I'm telling you all this constantly, right? But that's that
Yes.
energy that I'm talking about. It's like it's just a natural sense of this person knows what to do and they can feel it inside you. But we've been using that great leadership and that great power to lift other people instead of actually lead.
See, I always thought it was, well, this person's willing to listen, but
Mm-hmm.
what you're saying makes a little bit more sense
Yeah,
to me, anyways. Yeah.
they sense it that person knows what to do, right? And so when you like really hone in and harness that power, you can one be in a really good leadership position anywhere that you were to work, that in your community, in your anything, in your podcast, because people just have a sense, they can feel your energy, right? And so we can really harness that instead of using all of that hugeness to baby people who will not fix their own problems, because that's not what Sasquatch wants.
I wasn't expecting that, but that was pretty good. That was good.
Did you like that?
Yeah, I did. I did.
We got to bring it around here. So I think that anyone who is a highly sensitive person will relate to this conversation. And I think a really good thing to do is really look at, if you feel like you're being drained, here's your how-to steps, right? If you feel like you're being drained and you know you're being drained because you're tired for no reason, you get resentful, you don't want to pick up the damn phone when some people call sometimes. You're like, oh God, I
You ever
just want to
notice
be by myself.
you almost know who it is? I mean,
Always,
now even without looking at my phone to see what the number,
always.
I can almost always.
Yeah, I just said to that's my boyfriend the other day. Someone called him like, that feels like mom, or that feels like my sister.
Yeah.
You do. You just like know exactly who it is. But yeah, if you're like feeling drained and you know that you're taking on other people's shit and you're, you know, managing other people's emotions and being responsible for their emotions and their problems, what you want to do is make a list of everywhere where your energy is going right now. Because a good chunk of it should be going towards you, toward your life, towards your health, towards your whatever it is you want to create, whatever those things are for yourself, to moving yourself into your own evolution, because that's your part in this puzzle. It's not to save all the people. It's actually to move yourself into a better state of evolution, to get more clear in your frequency of leadership, of more clear in your frequency of truth. And to do that, we've got to cut all of the places that are draining us. And that's your job. So look at how much of your energy is going towards that, and look at where your other energy is going, towards work, towards this, towards that, towards stuff that's not moving the needle for you. It's a really good, and this is a time anyways to take a really good assessment as we're like moving into the spring. And I'm actually going to do this too. I've been meaning to, because I know my energy gets squandered as well, just because life, family, work, clients, it can really get chewed up.
Yeah.
But you'll know if you feel tired, if you feel drained, if you just feel like you want to escape. That's usually what's happening. And then move it back into yourself, into your own evolution. That's where the games are.
Because it's funny, like it's why I like having you do this, because it's almost like sometimes like a therapy session.
Also therapy.
It's like
we used to do.
You're talking. What you just were talking about,
Yeah.
I've been going through for like the last 2 months.
Yeah.
I have no motivation. I have no. I just.
Yeah, you're drained, man. Battery is at 0. Yeah, no motivation. Don't give a shit about anything. Like stuff you used to care about. And you're like, I don't really freaking care about that. I don't have the energy to put into it. And that's one of the signs of being drained, when you lose motivation towards the things that you used to get excited about, and that's shit, because what's the point of you being here? No, that's not what you're here for. So it's cleanup time. It's cleanup time. Anyway, we should do a whole show where people can like write in their questions and get like the spiritual advice on it. This is what's happening to your energy. This is what you want to do.
Well,
we should do that.
At the very least, like I said, I know there's a way to have people like that can actually come on the show.
Yeah.
But they can also, if somebody does have a question.
Oh, you can type it in?
Yeah, I'd have to put my readers on, because I can't see what the hell this is right now, really, without squinting.
Yeah, I think that would be helpful. Because a lot of people think that they're the only ones, or then they think there's something wrong with their health, or something, and it's usually not that. It's just an alignment issue. Our energy is getting drained somewhere, so we're not clear, and our body is there to just let us know. When we experience stuff in our body, in our physical body. So I am a holistic health consultant as well. I've been doing that for 15 years professionally. When something's going on in our body, it's most of the time just an energy thing, where our body is just a feedback loop of what we're holding in, where we're tensing, where we're gripping, an old identity that we're holding on to. Usually it's something that's not being expressed. So we're not giving ourselves the freedom that we really want to say, to speak, to be, to choose, to want the things that we want. And so that'll show up as tension in the body, and then that will show up as a metabolism issue, and then that will show up as some sort of degeneration or some sort of clogged organ or something. So, we always look at...
That doesn't sound good.
I know. So we always look at health through the lens of, I do at first look at health through the lens of energy. Like, what are you not expressing? And then we go to the physical stuff, obviously. But that goes back to Chinese medicine, getting the meridians open, getting the energy flowing, Qigong, Tai Chi, all that energy, moving that stuckness so that you can express and choose and be what you want. So you can be a liberated being, basically. When you're liberated, when you're free, when you cleaned up your field, that's radiance. Beauty, radiance, health it's a byproduct of that. It shows you how free you are. It shows you how much energy you have circulating in your system. Your health is a bioenergetic equation, basically. The more energy you have flowing through your body, the healthier you are, period. That's why someone can have a crappy diet, smoke every day, drink every day. The people and live to like 90 years old.
Yeah.
Because they
my grandmother.
Yeah, my great grandfather. I don't know how he did it. He was like 80 pounds, but he was kind of miserable too. But it's a free circulating energy that keeps Keeps us ticking.
Yeah, my grandmother smoked till the day she died.
Yeah. How old was she?
I want to say maybe 87.
Yeah.
And the only she used to go out dancing and stuff like that.
That's the
The,
key.
the only the only thing that happened is she fell down and broke her hip,
Oh,
and
and she couldn't dance.
typical, get pneumonia in the hospital. And,
It happens with hip replacements for some reason.
yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, keeping that dancing is an amazing way to keep the energy flowing. You know, it's one of the oldest ways of keep that energy flowing,
Is
move
that
energy.
is that what that's all about? Like
Hmm.
when like you see like tribal things and stuff like that, and there's always a dance ritual involved. And
It's moving the energy
huh,
from yoga to the tribal dance to any
I
of
always
the
wondered
old
about that. And I never.
tantric breathwork movements. It's all rooted in just moving that energy. Tai Chi Qigong, it's moving the energy,
I
and
thought they
that's
were just overly happy.
it's a way to summon spirit too. Summon like your own spirit through your body. The tribal stuff summons spirit of the water, of the crops, of the whatever
Voodoo.
it is. Some of it voodoo. But it summons energy through your body, even summons your own spirit up through your body, the moving, the stomping. It can break free just stuck energy. You know, it's like shaking, pounding, pounding yourself all over your body just breaks up energy too. And there's
Really?
as long as that energy moves, we stay healthy. It's just an equation of circulating energy. So like when I'm helping someone get back to health, we first look at where's your energy stuck, and they get a formula. You know, they get maybe we have to do body work and physically break it up. Maybe you've got to do breath work. Maybe you've got to go walk every day. You got to get that body moving, the breath coming into your body, the photons from the light coming from the sunlight coming on your skin. We've got to boost that energy, your own energy, and it will help to push out all that old energy. And that's usually solves most problems, most people's problems,
Well,
health, life, relationship, all of it. But cool. Well,
so it's
I guess that's all I got for today.
all right. Yeah, that kind of makes
You
sense.
got
Since we're going
anything?
on right about an hour. Doesn't seem like an hour.
No. No,
It's
I'm
funny,
like,
time flies on this thing.
I could have all these other things we could talk about today, but people would maybe stop listening because it's too much time. But
Yeah. Well, the last time that you were on, not well, actually not the last time, the first time you were on.
yeah, we were for like 2 hours that time.
Yeah, yeah, we just kept going and going and going and going, and that was the highest. We had the highest amount of people. I showed you how lit up the
Yeah,
board was,
yeah,
but something like that would be it. The thing is, though, that was like I think it was like 7-ish at night,
yeah.
and that's almost a perfect time.
Right.
Um, that would have something like that would be perfect for saying, hey, listen, and all you people that are on there, you got any questions, whatever.
Yeah, because those were all like live people,
Yeah,
or some were live people.
yeah, the ones that are on the screen are live people.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. I know there's so much this conversation can go on for hours. There's so much to talk about. It's like, okay, let's talk about health now.
It's almost
the,
endless.
the identity of health, which was the thing I wanted to talk about today. Was I'll just like a quick snippet of this, and then we can like do a whole section on it. Is that changing your health? Because I know a lot of people. There's so much information out there about all the things that you should be doing, all the things you should be doing, all of the gadgets, all the new supplements, and it can really be overwhelming. And for people who are just wanting to have a complete shift in their health, in their vitality, and let's think about vitality because everyone wants to feel more alive,
Mm.
right? Health isn't always a high priority to people because they're like, whatever, I feel okay, I'm breathing, I can walk. But when we talk about vitality, I'm like, okay, what if you felt 30 times more alive than you do right now? It's like, oh, actually, that would be kind of interesting. How would that change your life? Oh, maybe I would start doing more things. Maybe I'd start hiking. Maybe I'd go on that trip. Maybe I would just have more energy and motivation to do the things that I decided I didn't have energy for anymore. So we talk about vitality and really I'll just give you a short hack is that one, just a few steps. You decide that you're healthy and vital. You decide That, and decide means to cut off a side. It means there's no other option other than this one. When you make a decision, it's like, no, this is the only reality that exists for me, which is I am healthy, I'm well, I am vital, I am whole, my body is perfectly healed, 100% completely healed of everything. And you decide that because you decide reality for yourself. Everything is the reality that you decided that it was. That's why we can have two completely different realities. That person can be a billionaire, that person can have nothing, cut from the same cloth, two eyes, two ears, a tongue, digestive system. But we have two very different realities because of what we decided about life and what we know about life and what we choose. But you know what? Thoughts are free to choose. They don't cost money, and you can choose anything that you want. We are complete sovereign beings. We can choose any reality that we want. So you decide that it's yours for health, and then you decide, this is quantum leaping. We'll do an in-depth on something on this soon.
Yeah, I'd like
You
to.
decide, okay, if you are a vital being or if you're a healthy being, whatever one you like to use, what is that version of me doing today? Go in your fridge. What does that version of me have in their fridge? What does that version of me do on a day-to-day basis? And what do they not do? And you might notice that what they don't do, and it might not just be like, oh, they don't just get up in the morning and, eat donuts and sit on the couch and scroll. You might notice like that person actually doesn't complain. That person actually doesn't talk about how hard it is and how bad their knee hurts. They don't do that. They don't sit and wait for the other shoe to drop. They're actually out choosing life for them. They don't um, tell themselves that they can't do it and that it's not possible for them. They say, yes, it is. And the universe will show me the way. And I'm open to seeing the way. It's a completely different identity. And we'll see that our reality is only created by two things: the thoughts that we think and the choices that we make. And those cost nothing. They're free. You don't need a special education. You don't need a special background. You don't need any special powers.
Yeah.
You can change that right now today. And in 7 days, if you were to pick a new reality for yourself, and by the way, you can do this for health. You can do this with money. You can do this with a relationship. You can do this with
Probably all three.
Yeah, all of it. Any part of your identity. All you've got to do. What does that version of me think? What do they feel? What are their self-talk? And what are they choosing for themselves on a daily basis? And actually go in there and map it out for yourself and then stick with it. And in 7 days, you'll feel a shift. In another 7 days, you will see a shift because your reality will start to change around you because the universe is responding to what you're choosing. Because the universe means one verse, universe. And that verse is yes. Whatever you say,
Cycle.
yeah. Whatever you say, the universe is like, yes. You're like, you suck, the universe says, yes.
You know what? I heard this on some show I was watching. Guy was like, he goes, you're not in the universe. The universe is in you.
Mhm.
I was like, wow, that's kind of a profound.
Yeah. Which means that every possibility that could ever be exists in you right now. And you're just choosing realities every single day. You're just making choices every single day. And most of us are doing it very unconsciously because we're just in the cycle of, oh, this is just my reality. That means that this is what's available to me or not available to me. This is what I can do and what I can't do. And that's all up in your fucking head. All of it.
Oh,
you can choose anything.
I truly believe that.
You can heal yourself. You can become very wealthy. You can do things how you want to do it. You can make money through struggle. You can make money with ease. You are literally making the rules for yourself. If somebody else has already done it, that means it's available to be done.
One thing that I was thinking about, like, excuse me, especially like back in the day, like all these rock stars and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
There's many people that have been struggling bands and stuff like that, and they're all just like, yeah, well, I don't have the money to get this. I don't have the money. A lot of these people that made it to superstardom, they didn't have shit either.
They just acted the part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they just kept doing it and kept saying, no, this is what's going to happen.
Yeah. They had self-belief.
Yeah.
They just believed that they were more connected. They were more connected to their truth, which is like, I am supposed to be doing this. I love to do it. It's in me to do. Like God put this on my heart to do. And that, to be clear, like that's the difference. we can get somewhere because we are innately following our own path, that we have a passion for this thing, and it's like you just can't put it down. Like these kids who start singing and performing when they're kids because they have such a passion for it, and then all of a sudden in their 20s they get found, and then like life just happens for them, and that's because they're on
Yeah.
their God-given path. Now someone who has been the difference between that and somebody who is um, trying, we'll say trying, I'm trying to make it, I'm trying. Whenever you're trying to do something, what that means is you're not aligned, meaning you're doing what you're doing out of ego, or your beliefs are not aligned with what it is you actually want. Deep down, you actually don't believe that you should be doing it, that you can have it, or there's a value conflict in there. Like, okay, if I'm really successful, then am I going to lose my friends? Am I going to be judged by my family because I'm making money the easy way? I'm not working really hard. Are people going to say, who do you think you are if I act the part? So there's either a values conflict or it's not actually aligned. You're doing it out of ego. And that's the only reason why people don't succeed in what they're doing.
Well, anybody that knows anything about, especially that part,
Yeah.
there's no easy way about it. Actually, it's not easy at all.
No, nothing is, nothing is easy, but I guess the difference is when you're doing something that you are so passionate about doing, you'll put in the work and it doesn't feel like work.
No, it's well, that's what people always love to say. Find something you love to do and just make it your job.
Yeah.
Well, it's easier said than done sometimes, but
yeah. But we can work really hard at
but
something.
there again, I just did what those people were talking about. I said, well, it's easier said than done.
Exactly. Yeah, and it is all a belief. But when we're working really hard and putting in so many hours to something just to get a paycheck or something, that's going to feel like work. No,
Which is what most of us do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But when you're so passionate about what you do, it's like you would do it anyway. You would play music all day anyways because that's just what you do. You would take all the pictures or build all the things anyways because that's just what you love to do. It's on your heart to do. And when something is on your heart to do, it also means that all the pieces and resources are within you and within reach to do it, because that's the promise we had coming here. The universe is actually rigged in your favor. It's so rigged in your favor, but we can tend to fuck it up with our
just
head.
Tap into it.
Yeah. And get your mind out of the freaking way with trying to figure out how it's all going to happen and how it's all going to come together.
I used to think, and not long ago, actually, probably a couple of years ago, I used to think that was such a load of crap.
Yeah.
And then the one thing that really got me, I said this to you earlier, is what the hell just happened?
I don't know. Feedback stopped from somewhere.
Oh, all right. Thought I was having a stroke or something.
Really quiet here. Feedback from somewhere.
No, I forgot what I was going to. Oh, I thought it was just like, yeah, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
And then, like, science actually started pointing out that all of that stuff was true.
Mm-hmm.
And then I started watching more of that kind of thing, like,
Yeah.
changing your reality and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I started watching more of both.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn it, they actually know that this is right.
Right. Not only do we see it work for like all these people, not only are there thousands of books written about it since they started writing books, and really the Bible was the first text that talked about how to manifest, and that's basically what the Bible is. It's decoded.
It's almost exactly what that is.
It's a mystical text.
Yeah.
It is encoded in there, and the Bible was changed over time to be more controlling and stuff. But all the information is there.
It still has the same message, though.
All the information is there about expanding your territory and what that means. And that's a whole nother thing too, because I love all those stories and decoding what it actually means and what it's actually telling you to do.
What do you think, like, the whole praying thing means?
Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing. If you're trying to manifest, like you were saying, to manifest your own reality, you're essentially doing the same thing.
It's speaking things into existence.
Yeah.
It's what it is, because your words are, and the thing with prayer is you always pray from having. You don't ask God, universe, bring me this. You thank you for bringing me this. We're speaking our words are spells. That's why spells are called, it's spelling. You know, whatever you say, whatever you write, whatever you say is not interesting. It's, it's like we're
I never
speaking.
thought about that.
Yeah, it's speaking
Never even
spells.
dawned on me.
That's why we want to be so careful about what we say because we're casting those words out. I mean, just today, as a trial, try
Amazing.
today to just be so mindful about what you say. And we always want to, if we want to inflict good and blessings into our life, we've got to speak life into our life, speak life into our body, speak life into our reality. You know, but sometimes it doesn't go like that. It's like, what the fuck? This isn't working. And I got to go do this stupid thing. I don't want to do this thing.
Yeah.
And what is that creating? It's creating chaos in our own field, our own biofield is creating chaos. But when we speak life into things, our field becomes coherent. And there's a ton of like really cool videos, YouTube videos about coherence. When the heart and the mind and the body, it's all in coherence, we become this huge generator of frequency, but it's a coherent signal. So that when you tune into channel Kelly, the universe hears exactly what my frequency is. If I'm wanting one thing, but cussing about these things are not going right and like upset about this, when the universe tunes into me, it's going to hear, ooh, the universe like, I don't know what you're asking for. But when we're speaking life into our life with our spells, and we're feeling the emotions of what we're speaking, the universe is like, okay, I can hear you. I hear your signal, girlfriend. Let's tune you in. Let's lock and load you there. And let me send you more things. But that's like spelling. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. I never would have thought of that in a million friggin' years. That is absolutely wild.
I know. It's so powerful.
It kind of shows you like how long that train of thought's been around.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, the word spelling's been around for God knows how long.
Mm-hmm.
Since pretty much, well, not the English language, but you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're
spelling all day, every day. But that's a different level of self-responsibility now, right? It's like, well, now I can't unsee that. Now I can't unknow that.
Yeah, I know. Once it's there, it's there.
See how many times today you stop yourself before you're like, oh, no, I'm not going to say that.
And that almost blew my mind more than that Susie thing you did to me with the arm thing.
Oh, the arm testing, muscle testing. Oh, hey. But we are so powerful when we are aware of all of the gifts in everything that we're doing. When we can dial in all those pieces, what we're thinking, what we're choosing, what we're spelling, what we're speaking, you'll see how quickly your reality can shift and how quickly your cells can shift and everything around you can shift and the way that you feel shifts and the way people start responding to you shifts because there's just something more coherent in your field. It's easier for the universe to bring you the people, the places, the thing when your field is in a state of coherence. It means it's all on the same frequency. Yeah, it's pretty good stuff.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, prayer is powerful, whatever you want to call it. Spelling, prayer, whatever. Whether you're a witch or a or somebody religious or spiritual, doesn't matter. It's the same technology.
It seems to me it's just exactly the same thing with just different wording.
Yeah. So what would you spell into what's going to be your intention to spell into your life? If you could spell anything into your life today, what would it be? We're going to do an experiment.
Oh, God, I don't know.
First thing that comes to me. Lunch?
Yeah, maybe. Maybe. I don't know.
And it can be something as simple as better feeling thoughts. It can be something as simple as that. So say someone was like, I'm going to spell into my life just better feeling thoughts for myself today. So what that would look like if you were going to start to pray about it or speak about it or speak life into it, because we speak life into what we want to bring life to, right? Which is, it can be something like, I'm thinking, why do I feel so good? I'm thinking so many good thoughts. And just practice having good thoughts. Like, gee, I really like how clean my countertop is today. This is great. I love how I can like breathe so deeply. I love
As you look
this.
over to the
I'm
countertop,
trying
that's got all that crap all over it.
like I really like this chain and Halloween mask I have over here.
It's Ghost Rider.
I love the way my mind can conjure things, good thoughts. And when we pray about it, it's like God, universe, whatever you like, source, show me how good my thoughts can be today. Show me the power that I am. Show me how good I can feel today. Show me how well my thoughts can transform my whole reality. Show me how quickly it can happen. Because then we're using the power of our um, summoning, our summoning of our spirit. We're like using that energy when we say, show me, show me, show me, show me. And the universe is like, yes, yes, here you go. There you go. We just have to ask. We just have to use our friggin' words and ask for what we want. Show me how easy it is to allow myself to have the things that I want. That's another sticky spot where, and I'll share this with you real quick. So a couple of years ago, before I bought this Jeep, I sold my 4Runner because my mechanic, he's like, the body's rusted. I'm not going to be able to put a sticker on it. I'm not going to put a sticker on it. I didn't want to sell it because the engine was so strong still, like not a skip, hop, jump, nothing.
That's usually when it works with those.
Yeah, I was so bummed. That was my favorite car. So I'm like, all right, I'll put it up for sale. Sold it. And then there was this flux of time where I needed to find another car. And I wanted an SUV and I wanted something nice. And my first instinct was to go to the Lexus dealership. Because there was I forget, it's like an RX or something, Lexus RX, and Lexus is a Toyota, so I'm like,
it's a fancy
upgrade.
Toyota,
right?
Yeah.
So I went and tried out this car. I'm like, oh, I didn't love it, but I'm like, all right, yeah, this is good. I like this because I like nice things, and it wasn't like brand new at all. It was what I wanted to spend. It was like $23,000, something all I wanted to spend. And I know with like the foreign cars like that, you can put hundreds of thousands of miles on them, and you're gonna be good. That's what I want because I drive a lot. So we talked about. So the guy ran my stuff. I didn't think that my credit was good enough, but lo and behold, I was approved, zero down, $327 a month or something like that.
Well,
I was like, this is perfect. This just like fell into my lap as things usually had done in the past. But then I got thinking about it. Are all my things gonna fit in the back? So I was gonna move to Texas. Like, are all my things gonna fit in the back? So I started like questioning whether or not that was the right choice. And it was really nice. I mean, Lexus, they're super nice, leather interior, all bells, whistles, everything.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't know, I'll keep looking. So I went, and this went around, I tried all these different cars. I tried out that damn Jeep. And
that damn Jeep.
Oh my God. And I brought it down. My final decision was between this Jeep and this Lexus. And I went back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And I did not know what to do. Like, I was in such a pickle about it. I had my friend Mal come with me. And I'm like, Mal, can you please drive me to the dealership? I'm going to go ahead and get this car. I got to the dealership. I'm like, I can't do it. So we drove all the way down to the other dealership from Portland. We drove down to Concord. And I got down to Concord and I'm like, I can't do it. This isn't the right thing. And she's like, okay. I'm like, just take me back to Portland. So we go drive back towards Portland and I'm like, what the fuck is my problem? Like, I cannot pull the trigger on either of these cars. I called like one of my psychic friends. I'm like, what is my problem? What am I supposed to do? What one do you think I'm supposed to, like, completely outsourcing my power here? And then I talked to Greg. We talked about it for like an hour about what car. And he hashed it all out with me. Like, what are the benefits of this? What are the downside of this? And I asked like 5 different people what I should do about this damn car. And so I ended up getting the Jeep, and I'm thinking to myself, you know what? This is just going to prolong my anger, is all this Jeep is going to do. It was black. It was black interior. The other car was white with like brown leather interior. Much nicer. The Jeep was nice. It's like 40,000 miles. Great condition. It's Jeep Grand Cherokee, whatever. But deep down, it's not the car that I wanted. And it was just today. One day, there's one more piece of the story. I was sitting in the parking lot in Portland and I'm crying because I don't know what my fucking hesitation to getting that car is. It's a perfect payment amount, a car that would have like made me feel beautiful from someone who's like has driven, like, I've had really nice cars and I've had like SUVs that are more like muscly and masculine and things. I'm like, this is an up level for me. And this is going to be good for me. But I couldn't do it. I was so afraid of having nice things. I was so afraid that there was a particular person in my family that was going to get mad and get jealous because I had something quote unquote nice. And so I went with this goddamn Jeep and I've hated it ever since. And I'm thankful for it, universe. Like, please don't break my Jeep. I'm thankful. I'm so happy that I have wheels to go wherever I want to go. But then today when I was coming back from getting a coffee, I'm like, I can't believe, because that psychic friend, he texted me. He's like, hey, how you doing? And I'm laughing to myself. I'm like, I can't believe how much I hemmed and hawed because I was afraid to let myself have nice things. And what if today was the last day that that happened? And today was the first day I just started letting myself have nice things instead of making sure I didn't have nice things so I didn't have to manage that other person's emotions when they got jealous and their downward spiral about how terrible their life is and all their regrets. And so I wouldn't have to be responsible for picking them up and coddling them. And it's like, no, it's okay. We'll just have shit together. How about that? Is that going to make you feel better? Because that's what I had done with this particular person forever. I'm like, I've hijacked my own life for this fucking long because I was afraid to have nice things. And I say that because when you're speaking life into things, when you know these things about yourself, because we're very self aware. And I think people with, even if you don't have a heightened awareness, like you're very aware of your shit, like you're very aware of your patterns. You can see it happening and you still do it because you can't stop doing it. But it's because of these little niggly beliefs, right? And so when you're speaking life into something, it behooves us like, show me how easy it is to give myself the things that I want. Show me how easy it is to let other people have their own emotional experience. And speak like when I up level myself, it up levels everyone around me. And this is like speaking life into your own existence to heal those short circuits. And when you're so aware, instead of letting it drive you fucking mad because you're aware of exactly what you're doing and you're aware of exactly where you're shortchanging yourself.
I was just going to say the exact same thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, you know what you're doing.
You know.
And you know why you're doing it.
Yep.
But you still do it anyway.
You're still doing it. And that's because we're not aware of any other reality. We don't see what the other option is, right? And so when you know what the other option is, like, how about I just let this person have their own experience and I see what that's like for me when I don't have to deal. Like that's a good choice. Show me what that feels like, universe. What does it feel like to do that?
Or, how about it's not my fault that
Yeah.
they can't, do the same thing. It's not my fault. It seems that way sometimes, but
Oh my God. I'm speaking to the choir over here. I've taken blame for things that had nothing to do with me. Nothing. But let me fix it. It wasn't my fault. I better fix it. Be like, show me what it feels like to own my own stuff and nobody else's.
And a lot of times, like when you walk into that room where you can tell, there's tension, something's not right.
Yeah.
The first thing you think of is, are they mad at me?
Yeah.
Before you know what's going on, and everybody's like,
yep.
What did I do something?
Right. Right. If someone doesn't like respond to your text, like, are they mad at me? Am I like bothering them? Am I constantly like, that's always, it's me. It's me. And that's the thing that I noticed too, when I would intuit an answer for something. It's like, Kelly, it's not always fucking about you. Like their attitude, it actually has to do with something that happened 6 weeks ago with one of their friends. It has nothing to do with you. Like, oh, okay. This is really weighing heavily on me.
It is. It's like a whole weight goes away. It's like, oh.
Oh God, thank God. I'm glad I like reached out and talked about it because I was taking that one on pretty heavy. I know, it's a terrible thing. Just everything's not about you. That's how I have to remind myself. Everything's not about you. It's not all your fault.
Yeah. You didn't cause all the problems.
Their life is not your fault. Their bad decisions are not your fault either.
Yeah. Well, there's nothing to point to. I was going to point to something and, kind of say,
yeah.
But there's nothing there.
Yeah. Yeah.
As badly as I feel, but
I know. I know, but yeah, try speaking life into your life. And we can also say, show me how powerful that person is. That's a good one. Because then it's like, okay, God, this is in your hands. They're your child, not mine. Right? We end up parenting so many different people. Like, show me how powerful they are. And then that takes you out of
the equation,
protector mode, savior mode, and lets God show you. That's speaking life into things, but that's really, really powerful when you know that you are the spell keeper and the spell caster and the spell breaker.
Yeah.
Awesome. Cool. Well, that's it for today, kids.
Yeah, on that note.
Of things to do, but
it's been almost an hour and a half now.
Yeah, it's perfect. Perfect. But I feel like that's complete. But if people have things they want to hear about, want to talk about, they can. Is your email on there somewhere?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, they can leave a comment on something and ask.
They can, but it's a chance I will never get to it.
Right. Okay.
I'm just kidding.
Probably will never see it and probably will never happen. Don't know when this is going to be live again. So don't know when you could possibly chime in. So it's just really up to the universe at this point.
Yeah. Well, you definitely have to come. You definitely have to come back on and we life changing thing and all that kind of, or like we say life shifting or whatever and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then hopefully we can do it at a time when optimal for more people to come on and
and people can always connect with me. My name is Kelly. Hello.
It's true.
My Instagram is Kelly KELLYM Libby LIBBY. You can catch me on IG or email me with any questions, kelly@kellymlibby.com. And we will see you on the interwebs somewhere, maybe.
And I can tell you, it will be definitely worth your while to do that because, like I said a little while ago, every time she's on here, it's almost like a little therapy session. It's like, yeah. So definitely worth it.
Yeah. I want everyone to try out their spell casting today.
Yeah, that was wild. All right. Well, I'll anyways talk to you Sunday. Anyways, and sometimes we'll have Kelly back on, and you people can chime in, and maybe she can add some questions for you.
Yep. So. Give you spiritual insight on what you need. All
right. Cool. We will talk to you later.
Later.